A very warm welcome to my dear student of class 9. Today we will start the topic of the physics chapter 3, that is laws of motion. So to understand student laws of motion, first we will understand what you mean by force, because the laws of motion is based on the concept of force. Okay, what is that? Check it out. It is an agency, means push or pull which change or tend to change the state of rest or uniform motion or direction of motion of the body. Okay, now what is the effect of force? If you will see the effect of force, student, it based on the three concepts. One, it will change the state of rest or the motion of the body. Second, it changes the shape of the body. And third, it can change the direction of the body. Now we will come kind of forces. If you will see, according to your textbook, we have two kinds of forces, student. One is contact force, another is non-contact force. So what do you mean by contact force and what do you mean by non-contact force? Let us see. The force which are applied on bodies by making a physical contact with them, means when you are applying a force on any body, the two bodies should be contact with each other. That is known as contact force. But when you are applying the body, or when you are applying the force on a body, student, but what happened that time, you are not touching it, means that two forces are not in contact with each other. That is known as non-contact forces. Now simple example, if you want to take out the contact force, frictional force means, suppose you are walking on the road, student, your feet is touching the land. So once you walk, what happen, as your leg in contact with the ground, there is a creation of forces which does not allow you to move with the faster rate. That is a frictional force. Second, you can also see the tensile force. This is basically, you can see in the thread or string where you are hanging something, the hanging part will be balanced by the force of the string. Third, you can see the spring, the force exerted on the spring. I hope so everyone have seen the spring, student. If you elongate it, what happened, it tried to move back to its original position. Then what happened, means you are exerting the force on the string and string is again want to come elongated, means you are touching the string. Without touching, you cannot elongate. So again, that's why it is also a contact force. But if we will move to non-contact, student, my dear student, we can see some example, that is a gravitational force, electrostatic force, magnetic force. So means these force you can observe or you can feel, but you cannot see, visualize, okay, by touching it. Understood? So because in gravitational force, what happened, we can consider two body, and the gravitation force applied on the body, but we cannot see, student, we can feel it. So that is known as non-contact forces. Okay, so some important characteristic of non-contact forces which you have to remember. What is that first point, the non-contact force depend on the magnitude of the two body which is separated by some distance. Means I have told you, means suppose I can show you with an example, my dear student. See here, simple example, that is suppose this is the earth. Okay, this is the earth, and suppose you are just outside the earth, or you're just little bit above from the earth. What happened, this force of earth will applied upon you. Okay, so this force what is applied upon you is directly proportional to the mass of the earth as well as mass of your body, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Understood? So these are the characteristic of a non-contact force. What is that, student? It depend upon the magnitude of the force and the distance of separation. Clear to you? Okay, now after getting this concept, student, some question for you. What is that? You have to justify and you have to distribute among which is the force is contact force and which is the non-contact force. So this is the thing which you have to justify. Now we will move to the basic concept, student, that is Newton's law of motion. If you will focus, Newton's law of motion is in three form: first law, second law, third law. So first law is based on the law of inertia and force. Means to understand the first law, student, you have to understand the concept of inertia and the concept of force. So first of all, I will focus on force. What is that? It is an external cause. Means it is an external cause which make a body to move, or it can help to make a body comes to at rest. So that's why this is the one of the important part for Newton's first law. Second is the inertia. I hope so this word is new for you. Inertia is nothing but it is the inherent property. So it is the inherent property of an object. Mean it is present inside you. If you, I will say, suppose you have some property, some characteristic which is present inside you. So similarly, inertia is then also an property which is present inside the body. So if you will see the inertia form, it is based on three, my dear student, three. One is inertia of rest, another is inertia of motion, and third is the inertia of direction. So what do you mean by inertia of rest? It means what? If a body is at rest, means if you are the body, you want to be at rest today until when external force applied on you. Means if I will apply you, if I will push you, what happen? You will tends to move. Means without applying force you cannot able to move. That means the inertia. Means you want to be in the state of rest or you want to be in the state of motion if someone will not disturb you. Okay. Similarly, inertia of motion means what? You are in motion and you will remain in motion unless an external force applied on it. Similarly, inertia of direction, you are in one direction, so you will be remain in that same direction unless the force is applied on you. Now student, we will move to the Newton's second law. So to understand the Newton's second law, student, it completely based on linear momentum. Okay, so what do you mean by linear momentum? Linear momentum is nothing but, see here I have written a symbol, student, so small p. So this is a symbol for linear momentum, this is a symbol for the mass of the body, and this is a symbol for the velocity of the body. So what does it mean? It means that linear momentum is directly proportional to the product of the masses and the velocity of the body. If you see the linear momentum, which quantity? So it is a vector quantity because it has a specific direction. And from here you can find out the SI unit very clearly. Mass you know kg, velocity you know meter second inverse. So see kg meter second inverse. If you move to the CGS, it is kg converted to gram, meter to centimeter, and second you know time is remain same. Clear to you? Okay. Now we will understand change in momentum. Means suppose I want to change the momentum. How I can change? Either I can change the mass of the body or I can change velocity of the body. But as we have seen student, suppose if I will keep the mass of the body at constant and I will change the velocity, so this will be possible, but this create a problem in atomic physics. Because in atomic physics it is said that the mass of all the particle is not remain same. So if you want to keep mass same, what happen? The velocity will be varies, and if you are varying the velocity, student, mass automatically changes. So what we will do? So according to atomic physics, it is said that the velocity should not be greater than speed of the light. Means if you are changing the velocity of the body, it should be less than speed of light, then it is applicable. Okay, but it's fact that this formula is applicable everywhere. It is true for leaving the atomic physics, it is applicable for everywhere. Okay, whether you can keep mass constant or you can change the mass. Now I will move to the formula of rate of change of linear momentum. Okay, what is that? See, mv, student, linear momentum at final position mu is the linear momentum at initial position, because you know that v is for final velocity and u is for initial velocity. Suppose a body is moving, student, the linear momentum initial is mu, final is mb, and you know the formula, final minus initial dividing the time t. Now what I have done, I have taken mass common because it is acting on the same body, so the formula is come like this. See, so as you know from the graphical representation, I have shown you that v minus u by t is nothing but, please remember, it is a. So the your formula come here, as I have written for you, a is v minus u by t. So the formula become, that is ma. So rate of change of linear momentum is ma. Okay. Now we will move to the second law of Newton. What is that? This is the conclusion of second law. Here you see the rate of change of linear momentum, this one, is directly proportional to the external force applied. So we are applying, so ma is external force, so we are applying the external force on a body due to which linear momentum changes. Clear? So giving this concept, student, I will demonstrate some graph related to this formula. What is that? See, 3 graph I had drawn for you. In the first graph, student, what I have taken, acceleration versus force, but mass remain constant. So acceleration is directly proportional to force only if you are taking mass constant. Similarly, force is proportional to mass only if you have taken acceleration constant. And third, you know, as you are very well understood, I hope so, then you can see acceleration versus force over, force versus mass over. What has been left? Acceleration versus mass. So according to formula, acceleration is inversely proportional to mass only if, my dear, if force remain constant. So here the graph is inversely. Now I will show you the derivation. You see, of second law, dp by proportionality force external force. Whenever we are removing the proportionality symbol, student, a constant term k comes, and k you can take 1. So F external is delta p by delta t. As you know, p is a linear momentum. You put like this mb. If you are keeping mass constant, then delta v by delta t. Here delta represents small change. So v by t, everyone know it is nothing but acceleration. Now I hope so you have understood Newton's law, but one important points I like to tell you, student, Newton's law is also known as, Newton's second law is also known as real law. Why this happened? Because this is the Newton law is the real law only because through this law we can derive all the 2 laws. What is that? First law and third law. Okay. So here you see, according to second law, what it say? F is equal to ma. Suppose I have kept my force constant, so ultimately what happened? Acceleration is 0. So here you are justifying, what is that? A body in a state of no acceleration means a body in a state of rest unless or until you are not applying an external force upon it. I hope so you have understood. Okay, now example is Newton's second law, jumping on the sand. Suppose this is the path made up of sand, another is I have given you, that is rock. What happened when a child want to jump on the sand? What happened? When he is jumping, it force, he is applying force, and some due to that force, what happened? The sand goes down, means sand also experience some force over it. Clear? Now Newton third law of motion. Newton third law of motion is very easy. To every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. Means suppose the book, this is book, student, I have kept it on one table. So once book is applying force on this table, okay, this is a table. So one book is apply force on the table. How it will apply the force? By its weight. This is the weight of the book. Then what happened? Table is also applying force on book, and this is the force applied by the table. So the force both are equal, means weight of the book is equal to the reaction force applied by the table. Clear? Second, also you can see rocket motion, means suppose if you are moving the rocket What we are putting, student? Here we are putting some liquid and we are burning some gases. So what happen? When gases burns, it apply heat on the rocket, and due to which rocket also apply the force in downward direction, due to which the rocket repels. Clear? Many examples there. Firing a bullet. Suppose you are firing a bullet. What happen? You are putting one piston here. You are pressing the pistons. Once you are pressing the piston, what happen? This piston apply force on the bullet, and due to which bullet also apply force on it. So bullets come out from the gun. Clear? But some example I have not told you about the first law. Okay. First law is one simple example I like to tell you, student. Suppose you are which one example I can say? You are in the bus. Okay. Once you are in the bus, you are in a standing position. The driver start the bus. What happened? Once the driver start the bus, which direction you are falling? Forward or backward? It is basically backward. Why this happens, student? Means your leg, means your feet is touching the bus. So when bus start, what happen? Your feet comes in motion, but the upper portion of your part not in a state of motion. So what happen? Due to which it experience of force, it come in the backward direction. Similarly, suppose a driver can apply a brake, then you are falling forward. Why you forward? Your whole body is in the motion state, but instant when driver apply the brake, your feet come to and rest, but your upper part in motion. That's why a very instant you are falling in forward direction. I hope so you have understood this part, student. Now we will move to the last topic, that is gravitation. So what do you mean by gravitation, student? I can say it is a laws of gravitation. So this concept is also given by the Newton. What is that? It is a force of attraction between two bodies which is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So here I have drawn one diagram. This is suppose one body. You can say this is an earth and this is you. So what happened? This is the mass of first body, this is the mass of the second body. So the product what I have written here and the distance between them is r square. If you combine together and removing the proportionality symbol, a constant term k comes. This k is taken as gravitational constant. Clear to you? Now some characteristic of force that you can see here only, student. It is which type of force? It is an attractive force. First characteristic. Second is that it is proportional to the product of the masses, means it depend upon the masses of the body. Third characteristic, it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So these three characteristics you have to remember. Now we will move to the force of gravity. So force due to gravity means suppose earth is there and you are on the surface of earth, the earth is applying force upon you. So F is equal to gmm. Suppose this is the mass of earth, this is your mass, and divided by the distance between. Suppose this is the earth, student, this is you, the distance is r, so this is inversely proportional to r square. Clear? Okay. Now we will move, suppose that formula, if I will put all the value, this is the radius of the earth which is fixed, mass of the earth fixed, suppose the body what I have considered the unknown body, that is 1 kg, and g is the gravitational constant, so this value is also fixed. So if I will put this value in gmm r square, I will get this answer, that is 9.8 Newton. Okay. Now after that we will focus on acceleration due to gravity. That everyone knows, student. This is basically applicable whenever a body falling freely. Okay. So suppose a body is falling freely, the one force is acting upon it, that is a acceleration due to gravity. Now how we can find the relation between acceleration due to gravity and gravitational constant? That is here I have done. Suppose a body having mass small m and gravity g, upon is the gravitational force is acting. So the formula gravitational force is this one. If you compare these two, because it is acting on the same body, we will get this formula. The mass will be cancelled. You will get like this. Okay. The last concept is, student, that is what is the difference or what do you mean by mass and weight. So it is very easy manner. I can explain through your differentiation. Okay, or I can differentiate here. What is a mass? It is a measure of quantity, how much matter contained in a body. Okay, what is a weight? It is a force with which earth attract body towards yourself. Clear? Mass, scalar quantity, it is a vector quantity. Mass, unit kg. This is very easy, student, which you have learned in class 7 or 8 also. So here what you have seen, it is measured by a physical balance. This is a calibrated or spring balance. Okay, then most important thing, this you have to remember, what is that? It can be constant for it, does not change it from place to place, but weight can be changes from place to place. Reason is because weight depend upon g. So before ending this topic, student, I like to tell you the last concept of a freely falling body. Okay, so if a body fall from rest or from a height, suppose you are in a building, you are falling a stone from the building, then what happen? See, u is become 0, because I have told you in the last video also, when a body start from rest towards motion, u is 0. So these are the formula which is I have told you in last video, that is b is equal to u plus at. In place of a, student, we have written g. Why you know? Because here freely falling body, a is taken in the form of gravity. So b equal to gt. Similarly, s equal to ut plus half at square, student. Here u again 0, half gt square. B square equal to u square 2gh. So in place of a, again I have written g. But if body is initially with velocity, so here you cannot take u as 0. So here see, u is present, but one changes is there, a, in place of a you have to write g, because it is a freely falling body, you cannot write a. So see, everything is same, student, only in place of a they have written g. Now one, if suppose retardation, suppose if body is thrown vertically up, this is for down. Okay, this is from downward direction. Suppose I have fall up direction, what happened? Only retardation sign, means in place of plus g you will take minus g, student. So in place of plus gt, minus half at square, minus 2gs. So see the formula. So I hope so you have understood all the concept, my dear student. Please try to solve all the numericals of your textbook which is present in this next days. Don't waste your time. So please utilize all these 3 chapters. Have a well practice of the problem. If any doubt, you can ask. Thank you so much.